Hello everyone, how you doing? Welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator, and this is of course the iconic Spitfire. I've been wanting this since I jumped back into Microsoft Flight Simulator a couple of months ago, and this one, it was too good to resist in the sale. This is the Flying Iron Spitfire, and this was £13 in the sale. I actually got it from Flying Iron's website. It was slightly cheaper than getting it from the Microsoft marketplace, but it is on sale in the marketplace. It's £3 or £4 more, I think, at the moment until the 11th of April. So if you haven't got this and you fancy it and you play Microsoft Flight Simulator, then why not jump in? There's also a nice ME109 also by Flying Iron as well. I'm so tempted to get that one, but I thought I'd try this one anyway. Let's get into the cockpit, shall we? It's got a few mod cons in this one that we'll have a quick look at. Of course, there is a GPS there, which of course wouldn't be in the original. In fact, if you come down here, you get a little tablet like this, and if I go into, I think it's not in the loadout, where is it? Settings. So if you replace the GPS, there's the original gun sight that the Spitfire comes with, but it's nice to have the GPS there, like sort of retrofitted, if you will. There's all these different items that you can select depending on your preference. There is also a very basic autopilot as well, which is quite good if you just want to go straight and level and you don't want to do the flying. It's cheating a little bit, isn't it? I don't know if we'll use that today. Maybe. Anyway, there's lots of stuff in there. There's checklists, there's live data, all your stats as you fly in, etc, etc, etc. So we'll put that away for now, shall we? I think we're ready to go. I do want to learn this aeroplane, including the cold and dark start, etc. But there's a lot to it. There's a lot of things in the cockpit to get used to. So for now, for this one, I've just put us on the runway at Blackpool. I thought we'd just take it up, have a spin around. We'll maybe go up to Lake Windermere. We'll go low level across Lake Windermere. We'll come back to Blackpool, and we'll see what it's all about. So I have had a quick go. It's easy to fly. It's not easy to take off, because you can prang the prop very, very, very easily. But we're going to give it a go. We're going to do it from within the cockpit as well. I'm going to sit back a little bit so we can see what's going on. Let's take off the parking brake. I'm going to put in a little bit of throttle, but it does tend to want to go forwards if you put too much throttle in at once. So there is a bit of a learning curve. There's a very good manual with this, so it's a study level. You can learn all about it, which I fully intend to do, as I mentioned. But now this one is just to show you, just go and enjoy a little free-for-all sort of flight in this one. I'm just feathering the throttle a little bit, bringing the speed up, trying to keep it straight. It's difficult to see as well. I'm looking at the edges of the runway so that I can stay in the middle. The speed's picking up, but we could do to go a little bit faster. This could go either way. I'm just saying, it's just balancing the aircraft. It wants to go to the left the whole time. Let's put some more throttle in. Oh, it's making me nervous now. Here we go. Okay, we're up. Let's get the gear in. We'll have a very quick look outside. There we go. So we've got to get the rate of climb correct. Let's put the power in. Now they're up. Listen to that Merlin engine. It's a little bit tricky to begin with, but we'll manage. We'll head towards the tower and towards the Lake District, and We'll fly low over Blackpool, shall we? There's the big one at the Pleasure Beach, so we'll just do a sort of fly past of that. We probably shouldn't be this low with structures that high, but that's fine. There's the big one, if you've ever been on that at the Pleasure Beach. I have got the Orbix scenery in, by the way. We're not going to mention that place there on the right hand side for obvious football rivalry reasons. Here's Blackpool Tower on our right. We're going to head out towards Windermere, as I said. There is the tower. As we leave that behind, we'll get a bit of height, shall we? And I think what we'll do is, I said I wasn't really going to use the tablet and the autopilot, but you know, I'm going to cheat until we get to Windermere, and I'm going to do that. So if I go to autopilot, and I'm trying to keep the aircraft straight whilst I do this, we'll set the altitude on, we'll put the autopilot on. Let's set this, shall we, to, let's say 10,000. So I've let go of the stick now, and it is going to keep me at 10,000. Well, it's going to climb me to 10,000. So we'll put this away. What that will allow us to do is just enjoy a little bit of the scenery as we head out towards Lake Windermere. Let's just take a look outside. It's a wonderful aircraft, isn't it? Just the sound as well, the sound of the engine. It's lovely. Let's just come in close and have a look. There's Blackpool over this right hand side where we just took off from. If I can get my words out. Ah, it's great, isn't it? And this comes with quite a few liveries as well. I can't remember actually. I should know what squadron this is. Does it tell me? It says MI214. That's not the squadron. I want to say 96 squadron, but I could be wrong. But there's quite a lot. There is the Supermarine sort of sky blue version as well, which is quite nice. But it's lovely to fly. Once you're up in the air, it's okay. I'm going to say to you as well, the landing isn't too bad. Although I might have tempted fate a little bit there. We'll try it anyway. I have done a couple of landings and it's been alright. You've just got to, because you've got, it's a tail dragger, you've got to balance it right. You can land on the front two wheels and then drop the back wheel down, the tail wheel down, or you can try and land on all three at once. I don't know what is the best method. I need to practice. As I said, this video was all about just getting the Spitfire up in the air, having a quick look, see what it's all about. But 13 quid. This is a bargain, I think, for 13 quid. We're at 7,700 feet, so we're rapidly getting up to the 10,000. Airspeed 252. And we need to come this way. There's Lake Windermere. You can just see it to the right of the tail there. That's Lake Windermere. So soon I will take off the autopilot and we'll do a low pass. The good thing about the Spitfire is you can get places very quickly. That's the advantage. Just have a quick look around. It's obviously got the very distinctive shaped wings. There is the clipped wing version as well that comes as part of this pack, which I think looks a bit naff, but that was done to help corner or do faster turns when in a dogfight. So you'll see it has a name. I can't just remember the name, but the wing tips are sort of clipped off. They don't have that round sort of shape at the end on that version, but that is included as well. We've obviously got the metal plate behind the pilot seat, just in case anybody was chasing us and rattling the guns at us. We're at the 10,000, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop a little bit of power I'm going to take off the autopilot. There will be, whoops, didn't mean to do that. There will be a button for taking off the autopilot, but I don't know what that is just now. We are diving, actually. Oh, the autopilot is off, so I can actually take the autopilot off by just actually performing a dive. Shall we see if we can? Shall we see if we can just do a quick manoeuvre? Let's get the speed up again. And we'll just see if we can quickly go over and around in a sort of loop. I don't know whether I'm going fast enough, to be honest, but we'll try it. The speed's too low. Go above 91 knots to avoid a stall. So there we go. Let's just turn out of this. That's quite nice. So we're going to come low now over Windermere, which is right in front of us. Because this is this the longest lake? I think Coniston is long as well, but Coniston has no... I don't think Coniston has any islands in the middle. So I think from that perspective, as far as the water speed record goes, with the Bluebird, with Donald Campbell, he did it on Coniston water because there was no obstructions. You can already see here there are some obstructions with Windermere. There's a few islands, etc. Right, let's get back into the centre of the sea, because my views are playing up now. But okay, there we go. That's it. So we can see, actually, I've raised the height so I can actually see over the top of the front of the plane. Let's go down, shall we? 3,000 feet we are approaching, and we'll just do a very low pass. This is the southernmost tip of Windermere. Bring it right down. Here we go. Oh, it's great. I love it. Let's take a quick look outside the external view. Got to make sure, of course, that we don't go too low. But anybody that's watching down at Bowness will get quite a nice view of this as we sweep around the curves. I have actually been to Bowness, which is the town just up here on the right hand side, to watch the Battle of Britain memorial flight flying over Lake Windermere, and it was a really, really nice sight. Some years ago, 2002 as I recall, that was. And there was a lot of crowds there waiting for that to come across. So this is Bowness now over on the right hand side. Oh, the Microsoft Flight Simulator depiction of Bowness. So that's Windermere behind us. We've been over here before. I think we came over here in the Piper, didn't we, in the PA-28? Just scoot around to this north edge and we'll make our way back. I do like warbirds. I haven't really, in Microsoft Flight Simulator, I haven't yet transitioned to the big passenger jets. That's something I need to look into. I've been sort of enjoying this general aviation type flying and warbirds and that kind of thing, the historic aircraft. But I do need to go on some longer journeys and sort of teach myself how to use the big jets, the big passenger jets. That's the next thing on the list. Let's sweep across to our right. We'll start heading back towards Blackpool. Take a quick look out of the cockpit at the side. We're going to a very gradual turn there. Make sure we've got all the power in. So this being an older aircraft, the instrumentation is slightly differently represented to most of the GA aircraft that we've got, but it's absolutely classic. It's really brilliant to fly at this speed. Really nice. And it wants to climb at this speed. I've just took my fingers off the thumbsticks and it's climbing on its own there. It just wants to go. So what we'll do is we'll go to Cork, which is 11 nautical miles in front of us. There's Windermere on the left, and then we'll follow the coastline along around Morecambe Bay, and then we'll head back into Blackpool. So what I'll do is I'll stay at this height. I'll just trim the aircraft a little bit, try and keep us level. This is Morecambe Bay coming up in front of us. Right, let's go a little bit higher, shall we? We'll go a little bit higher, we'll climb, and we'll get a good view of the run into Blackpool then. Just passing through 4,000 feet just now. It's quite a small Garmin, this one in front. It's quite difficult to see, really. And again, that's a different one. I've been used to the G1000 that's in the 172 and is in the various other the standard GA aircraft that we've got. That one, I need to. A lot of the functions are the same. They're in different places, so I just need to sort of teach myself how to use that properly. I've also noticed that I need to change the orientation of it because you can see the little picture of the aircraft. I like to have that so that, you know, we're always heading in the direction that we are heading outside the cockpit, if that makes sense. So I need to change the orientation. That's one of the first things that I need to do. Anyway, we are at nearly 7,500 feet. There's the bay. Blackpool is kind of over here. So we will turn towards there very soon. Got a quick look outside. It's just cruising along now very nicely. Let's turn away from the camera. There it goes. Really nice livery. All right. Bring the nose down slightly. See, we soon got up to near 10,000 feet again without trying. So keep your fingers crossed for this landing. I might need it. The thing about the Spitfire is, you see, such a fast aircraft. You've got to come in quite fast as well. And you know, like I said at the beginning, I haven't consulted the manual too much, so there are, of course, ideal speeds for takeoff and landing, etc. I haven't consulted that yet to find out. I'm kind of, you know, just flying it like a recruit in World War II that's had a couple of hours training before being sent up. It's that kind of thing. But I will study the manual and get the speeds all okay. Blackpool is this dot here that you can see. That's Blackpool. So we're going to turn in and start preparing. We'll come back in on runway 28, which is where we took off from. Just keeping a visual fix on where the airport actually is. Not long now till we make the turn, then we'll start losing a little bit of height. I got the real weather on, by the way. I'm just looking at, I'm 15 miles away from Blackpool, where I am now. I'm just looking outside. It does look pretty similar to this, I must admit. Normally I've been setting it to clear weather, but I thought I'd start trying the real weather and, you know, in some cases add a little bit of challenge into things without overdoing it. But we're going to turn towards Blackpool. Let's do that now. We'll just drop the wing and gradually bring it around. There's the mouth of the River Ribble coming in from the coastline there that you can see. And British airspace at Wharton is there. We need to avoid that, even though we are a military aircraft. I don't think we'll be quite welcome there, to be honest. Not unless we pre-book it. Not in real life, anyway. That's where you see all the Eurofighters doing their exercises along the coast. Okay, let's turn it in. And we'll start to get lined up for runway 28, which on the compass in the top left hand corner there is directly on the west symbol. It's just to the right of the west symbol, isn't it? But from this height, you can see the runway there at Wharton. You should be able to make out the runway once we make this turn. There it is, just under 15 nautical miles. Alright. Of course, in the Spitfire as well, you do, unlike a lot of the trainers that have been using the GA aircraft, you do need to raise and lower the undercarriage. So, need to remember to do that, else we'll be in big trouble. 10 nautical miles. So I can start to see runway 28 just now. And what we'll do is we'll start losing a little bit of height, so I'll take some of the speed off. First of all. And what we'll do is we'll get the gear down early. So let's do that now. We'll quickly pop outside for that. There's the gear coming down. There's the runway in sight. You see Blackpool Tower off to the right there. You can just hear the drag of the wheels. Now the wheels are down. You can hear the drag of the airflow. So 1700 feet, just lining up for the runway. Keep your fingers crossed, everybody. This could be a bit crazy. 900 feet. Just keeping an eye on that airspeed. We will need to put in some flap, which acts really like an air brake. So let's do that. The nose wants to go down, which is good. 500 feet, 162 on the airspeed. We've got 2 white lights. We need 2 red, 2 white ideally. So we're probably a little bit fast. We got 1 red briefly. If we get 2 of each, we know we've got the good height, good speed. There we go. Starting to bring off the power. And just flare it slightly. There's no rush. There we go. So now need to take off the power. We're actually in the air again there. Let's take the power off. Try and stay on the runway if we can. Get the power right off first. What we need to do then, excuse me, is just dab the brake a little bit. Take off some of the airspeed. If you go too much, as I said, it wants to go nose forward. And then you're in problems. We'll have a look outside, shall we? And what we'll do is we'll just come across here. Off the main runway. And we'll get onto the taxiway, shall we? Out the way. I've turned all the air traffic control off, as you can appreciate. I don't need them screaming down my ear. So what we'll do is we're off the runway. Let's put the parking brake back on. We'll just quickly head inside, and what we'll do is I think we'll stop here. I think this is good enough. So let's turn off the magnetos, shall we? Which will stop the prop. And the battery is over here. There's a little switch here for the battery. Should probably turn the fuel off, but I don't know where that is at the moment. Well, let's do that. And that's the end of the flight. It was just a quick flight, 23 minutes. That was a nice flight. I hope you enjoyed it. It's a bit nervy on the takeoff. It's a little bit less so on the landing, but it's one of those ones where you just practice, just keep practicing. That's what I'm going to need to do. I'm going to need to study the manual. I'm going to have to get good at this. I want to do the cold and dark start. I want to fly it, you know, properly as a Spitfire pilot would have done. I am using some of the assists on the screen as far as not flight controls, but the HUD on the screen in the external view and all that kind of thing. That just definitely helps. Obviously, a real pilot doesn't have that either. They use the instruments in the cockpit, but we'll get there eventually. But I hope you've enjoyed it. It is a really nice aircraft. If you haven't got it yet and you are playing flight sim, pick it up while it's on the sale. 13 quid. It's an absolute bargain. So until next time, take care, everybody. Hope you've enjoyed yourself. I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.